the audio, and it's dead at my end, so I have to do some troubleshooting here to get going.
You come out here. I don't know. It's on your.
The audio, and it's dead at my end, so I have to do some troubleshooting here to get going.
You come out here. I don't know. It's on your.
Just a minute.
It's sort of a very big delay.
That was from a background window that was open. I'm having trouble with the audio. I can't get the audio to come through, so I'm going to have to try it again here. Start playing with it. Okay, that one works. Why won't the other one work? Where is it? Okay, now it's working. It's working on my... Okay, I'm going to try to switch over again and see if it switches over properly. No, it didn't. Okay. Let me see. I restarted live stream. That didn't work. I think it's in the Zoom connection, and I'm going to have to restart my computer. So, John, you can keep the meeting open here, and I'll restart and come back in and try to get everything.
Put me up as a co-host.
That's the only thing I can do. Okay, bear with me. This could be an ordeal. Hi everyone, I'm just going to go directly into the live stream without switching over. I won't be able to hear your audio until I get switched into live stream, so bear with me a minute. Okay, could I just get a sound check, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, perfect. I think it's working. Okay, just a couple more adjustments. And now we'll begin. Okay, just about there. Just a minute here while I. Okay, welcome everyone to the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group. Apologize for the half-hour delay here. We had a lot of technical difficulties trying to get set up, as usual, it seems, the last few times. In any case, we're here now, so we'll just carry on. Yeah, I'm a bit flabbergasted here, just still trying to let the dust settle on the systems here to see if things are going to play properly and are working properly. Okay, yeah, I think we're here. Let me see here. All right, well, as usual, just announce again, my camera is auto-focusing and it's not supposed to be. Why is it doing that? Okay, just a minute. Reset its settings. Nice. Okay. I'm not going to save it. All right. Okay, I'm still in a bit of shock here, trying to shell-shocked from the last half hour of audio difficulties trying to get set up here. All right, is anyone, well, it's the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group. Welcome, everyone. And it is Tuesday, or actually Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. And welcome to the group. Is there anyone that would like to start off with something they'd like to present or talk about?
You've got a lot of spectators. You want me to help you out?
Sure. Should we bring in the attendees, or to help out by breaking the ice with some conversation?
They're all on the other side, that's why. And, attendees, I've got to remember them.
Yeah, I think we can bring them in. So yeah, let's do that. It's a lot easier to deal with things. Ding, ding. Take that off. Okay, everybody's in as panelists now, so you should be able to speak by opening your microphone. I see that everybody brought in no longer has a microphone. So this is a glitch in the Zoom where your microphone disappears in the when you become a panelist. So as Brett mentions, you need to rejoin the audio in order to rehook up your microphone. For Dan, Like and Joseph and Jedi. No, Jedi just got hooked in. Yeah, great fun. I think in this modern day and age, we would have the very basics of communications really nailed down by now. But I'm sure there's some company or lobbyist somewhere that wanted to make sure they had some kind of proprietary interest in the making sure that didn't work according to plan. It's usually the case. Okay, I think we're basically together other than Danielle and Like both don't have their microphones hooked up yet. If you need to speak, then you'll have to reset your audio, rejoin audio, as Brett says in the chat here. All right, now that we have microphones, is anyone willing to say anything to begin today's festivities here at the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, or the KPRG as we like to call it? Sounds like a 3 or 4 letter agency that way. Sebastian says in the chat, I would like to know about possibilities to gain some electricity from some kinds of reactors, the non-nuclear ones.
Well, it depends what we call non-nuclear. In fact,
He says like GAN's balls.
yeah,
they're just no. I have no idea. I've never gotten electricity from GAN's balls that I can recall, other than I've been able to get a ping pong ball to light up, but I haven't been able to get electricity from it, from its lighting up. And it required it to spin at high speeds and me to put my hand on it in order for it to light up.
But with capacitors, with condensator plasmatic, no, it's possible. You drive, I don't know, 3 volts and half amp. You put in series in parallel, you have what you need.
Yes, but is it continuous? Will it give you electricity whenever you want, or does it mess up and you have to redo it and so on?
You have the transistor, the diode of like bees of Alex. No, you making oscillate on one spark gap for achieve alternative.
Well, I'd love to see someone demonstrate that runs a light bulb for, for a few weeks. Why doesn't someone show that? If we can show electricity from these reactors, that's not the GAN's ball, of course. That's the plasma capacitor, plasma battery kind of system, which, it's easy to get power out for at least a limited amount of time. What do you mean, like no audio? No audio for you. Yes, you need to rejoin the Zoom audio in order to have your audio hooked up. Hope you understand that, or maybe you're not able to hear. You send him a note. Sebastian says, do you mean like in the video of Keshe about the CO2 GANs? I don't know what you mean. What video do you mean about making CO2 GaN, Sebastian?
Yeah, there's a video from Keshe about.
So how's that? Is that related to your question about electricity, you mean?
Yeah, in the end, he shows that he put the CO2 GaNs in a lot of little balls and says that this energy, but not how long for how long it produces energy.
Sorry, you're breaking up there. Did he show, are you talking about a video where they show lights lighting up or something, LEDs lighting up, or what do you mean? Are you asking about the plasma batteries, plasma capacitors, or what are you asking about?
Actually, I don't know exactly just about electricity. I don't know a lot about the reactors to know just some pictures and then one video of Keshe. He says it's producing 12 volts by a lot of little balls filled with guns in a row connected to each other. And I didn't got everything that Konstantin said, so I thought maybe he's talking about this way of gaining electricity.
I'm not sure which video you mean. If you could provide the link so we could have a look at it, that would be great. There's like literally almost 2,000 videos. So it gets a little confusing as to which one exactly. He showed electricity from using the various cells, using salt water and the zinc and copper oxide electrodes and so on. You can easily show electrical output from putting those in series, putting a LED in or whatever, you can light it up. But that's more of an electrolytic sort of cell than the plasma battery, which is a different principle.
I hope that I will be able in about 1 month to add to the topic something, because right now we are doing several tests with high voltage nano-coating. And when we will be successful with that, we will try to generate some electricity by a standard fan where we have on the propeller ganses and magnets and the nano-coated coils around it. But again, we still need 2-3 weeks time to have reliable results. I think I can add to the topic in about 4 weeks from now.
Okay. There was I'll show a picture here. There was a patent that came out recently that maybe we could discuss. It came up in the Facebook links as well. And I'm just kidding. So this shows just get my window reset here. Shows a U.S. patent application. It was just published. Started in August 2017. This is called a piezoelectricity-induced room temperature superconductor. And it mentions the present invention is a room temperature superconductor comprising of a wire, which comprises of an insulator core and a metal coating. The metal coating is disposed around the insulator core, and the metal is coating deposited on the core. When a pulse current is passed through the wire, while the wire is vibrated, room temperature superconductivity is induced. Now, if you look at this so-called wire here, it's pretty simple. They just have a insulator core, a metallic coating, and a pulse current in it, which is interesting. Then when you look at the second picture, actually the third picture here, figure 2, it even gets more interesting. You start to see that it has amazing similarities actually to the Maggrav coil system, or even the sort of the health pen concept, or some of the other the plasma battery, plasma capacitor. All of those have similar concepts that are worked with. So in this case, we have a coil around a central wire, which we're familiar with in the Keshe technology. And in this case, in the patent, it's got a piezoelectric metallic coating on the outside of this wire, which is basically aluminum foil on the outside of an insulator. That's the wire, and it's got this coating on it. And their secret in the patent is about this pulse current that's put in. And the pulse current and or mechanical activation of the wire will create a superconducting field, according to this patent. And it's interesting also that the patent holder in this case is the United States of America, and specifically the Navy, U.S. Navy. So this is a patent that comes out of research from the U.S. Navy in the last few years, which is interesting. And they mention how they go about it, how they make the coating, how the room temperature superconductivity can be achieved through these processes. Specifically, vibrating this metal wire. And they mention the wire's coated with a lead zirconate titanate or titanate, I'm not sure how that's pronounced.
Titanium.
It's a titanium, but it's a titanate, I think, from zirconium and titanium and lead, basically, with oxygen, like it's an oxide of some sort. It's a ceramic. That's a piezoelectric ceramic. And they mention here the achievement of room temperature superconductivity represents a highly disruptive technology capable of a total paradigm change in science and technology rather than just a paradigm shift. Hence, its military and commercial value is considerable.
I think we've heard these words over 10 years ago.
Yes. And it goes on about the ins and outs of creating this superconductivity and a couple of calculations and so on. But basically, they're trying to take advantage of a certain kind of activity with a nano layer. And it's not a very thick layer. It's actually a few atomic layers thick. They talk about the superconductivity mechanism in a few atomic layers thick metallic film deposited on a dielectric or insulator substrate. I note in their, the plasma capacitor? I think the battery also has a dielectric in between, so you might have aluminum foil, but you'll have a paste, a GaNs paste that's actually a dielectric that would be in between. And if that paste is too wet and you plug in your mag graph, that's what will pop, because it's not insulating, it's conducting. And it could be the water will turn to steam, and it could pop the capacitor, cause it to arc out.
So nano-coating is insulating.
Well, our nano-coating is insulating, but in this case, it's a superconducting metallic film.
Yeah, but when they say the nano covering, they also say that you could have a very special way of discovering what material it is. And if we look at Johnny's way he changes the looks of the nano coating, Johnny, can you speak to us? Johnny, ¿podés hablar con nosotros? Mostrarnos tu cobertura que logras en los hornos. I'm asking.
Sí, Rick. Hello everyone. Rick, un momento, dentro de 5 minutos voy a acabar con un amigo que estamos hablando de lo mismo, de las bobinas.
Fenómeno. Yes, Johnny manages to have the nano coating with silver coloring, gold coloring, platinum coloring. He heats up the copper in electric oven, which he uses for his dentistry work.
Oh, yes, very precise. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At certain temperatures, he has different configurations of nano coating, and you look at the metal, and it's that.
Yeah, you can look up the actual color of the copper nano coating, and you can tell the size of the structure and the exact composition just by the colors. They've determined that scientifically, apparently, the exact temperature where you get exact differences in that color structure. But they're all different kinds of copper oxide, but they're not necessarily they're different bandwidths basically. So the dark black coating would be a wide bandwidth that absorbs all of the fields, where some of the other ones might exclude certain fields and reflect them back, and you see the color. Does he have some pictures of that, or?
Yes, he'll be coming with them in about 5 minutes' time, because he's explaining all this MAGRAV business to a friend of his, and he'll finish in about 5 minutes' time.
Okay, great, thanks. So anyway, it's interesting that this paper came up in this particular patent, and it's got a lot of similarities to the things that we've done in the Keshe Foundation teachings of the plasmatic devices and whatnot. But it also has its own aspects that they obviously did their research in a certain way as well. But just hinting at that capability of a room temperature superconductor, which Mr. Keshe has been claiming all the way along. So if we can show that, it's not that easy to show room temperature superconductivity. You have to show the exclusion of a magnetic field, or show some other effects that are part of that superconducting criteria, such as having no electrical resistance. In other words, it would be generating no heat, even though electricity is going through the wire.
When I thinking on piezo, I thinking in all the singing card or watch, when you have in like a, how to say, speaker, no?
You
when
shake
you
it.
take a little piece of song, you have the postcard with singing, or in
Oh,
the
okay.
old watch, no, I don't know, 10 or 15, 20 years ago. It's this
Like
watch when you have the alarm.
I
The,
see.
uh, when you're taking piezo with a few micro uh, volts or amps, you achieve a lot. You have the the coefficient of is very because it's about resonance. It's about it's all schooled about Tesla and other things. I think when you piezo, no, you pressure this layer like a firelight. You have the
Yeah,
piezo
yeah,
inside.
that's right. It's not a new
It's not
thing.
about temperature room or it's called a gate. It's nice to see, but I understand another way. This when you have the wire, to you have the another between you have the potential you create with the resonance with the frequency, looking saying what resonant, no, what frequency you have in this pattern. It's not layering. Yes, you have the oxide, but you think you have the battery. Two element, different element between with the electric. Perhaps it's oxide or titanite or whatever the else. You have the electric between.
Yeah,
You
yeah, that's the important part actually about the patent. So,
and
and
you
they
have
talk it. Go ahead.
yes. No, you I see in this picture is like how to say, not crystal. It's proper transformers. You have the transformers. You have the isolate core, and you have two circuits and two alimentation, no, helical coils. When you're making one spiral or two, 10 or one coil, you achieve what is no, it's like a clock, uh, crystal clock for quartz. It's one circuit oscillate LRC, capacitance, resistance, and its equivalent. Okay, sorry.
No, that's right. And it's just what that does on the actual surface, on those few atoms thick surface, is it creates essentially a plasma. So it becomes a plasmatic device on that surface, and that's what the scientists are still trying to figure out. They're still trying to look at things on the nano layer level from the ordinary scientific point of view, and it doesn't work so well. They can sort of say, well, it's got superconducting effects, and they're not even sure how that occurs really. But it's got to do with this opposing electrical fields at certain frequencies, so high frequency and pulses, and they interact with each other and form node points, and it's got to do with vortexes of nested vortexes on this nano-coating, which are basically little whirlpools of magnetic energy, and they get whipping around, and that helps the electrons flow along the surface without any resistance.
Force when we make it in salt water, no, with copper and zinc or other things. No, you put in one LED, and in the garden with 10 little. It's first thinking it's the battery, normally battery galvanic, no? But now I see the same, but in from perspective of plasma, because you're thinking you have a piece of copper, you have the piece of zinc, you have uh, the electric between, or not the electric, the the water salt, and you create a differential potential and amperage uh, intensity. But when you're looking in the point of view of plasma, you achieve, but you don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to measure the results, especially on the nano layer level. And they get into that in this patent on how they measure by, they use, where was it here? Well, they talk about having to use these effects happen like on a quantum level, so they have to find a way to be able to measure it on the more on the higher levels, on the macro level. So they have the usual processes using well, doping techniques. So they end up putting different elements into the layers, the aluminum and so on, and having that PZT stuff in between. And then they have to measure how much of it is in there. So they have to do a spectrometer tests and various other treatments. I also notice here, one thing they do is a polarizing treatment. You mentioned that at the bottom here. Polarizing treatment before the room temperature superconducting enablement. So they align the coating, which is what Mr. Keshe has told us to do since day one, basically, in our nano-coating. To use the test instrument voltmeter, for example, to drain the excess electrical fields off of the nano-coating, and that allows it to polarize itself to align it. They do it by subjecting the coating to a strong DC current electric field. Says below the Curie temperature, but as high as 360 degrees, depending on the ceramic composition. So it's interesting that they do a polarizing treatment in this particular device in order to get it to work. Anyway, well, that's a good point, Dan, that we can look at things from the plasmatic point of view, and it becomes a different perspective than the galvanic or the electronic point of view.
It's not the same like you have the magnet. You put it in from temperature, no, or pushing, and you demagnetize this magnet, no. You change the structure, but you are able to magnetize again. It's the same thing, you know, when you have not electrode. Yes, electrode. is the capacity of recharging, or you have like a battery, ever battery, infinite battery. You have the coaxial cable for antenna, no, from TV. You have inside copper, no, normally copper, or outside it's or copper or the galvanized something. Between you have the Teflon or poly, I don't know, poly, something.
Polyethylene or something. Yeah.
Okay. You are putting in the cooking form. How to say? Yes, like a jar, you know. You are change the temperature, apply a little high voltage or little voltage is not important. You take it from, I don't know, 7 days. It's real align the line of inside. No, when you create this loop between inside and the exterior, no, you have the capacitance. This how to say, not balancing. When you have one plate bigger and another little, it's like in the transformers, asymmetrical. No, you achieve this charge is recharged from outside, from room temperature. Everything when you look in different points, it's the same, but you understand another way. I thank you, Mr. Keshe, and everything at all knowledge seekers, because now after I don't know 2 years, 3 years, I see in the world in other way.
Right. Okay. Any other comments or questions about this?
I've just opened that patent in another page, and has another look to commentaries it makes about. There's a picture here which hasn't finished coming. There's a big K in the picture, meaning to say it has to do with Keshe. I'll copy the page and put it into the chat.
Just read a little bit. Actually, I can show it because they don't mind things being shared.
Yeah, the patent office is showing it all open. See? I mean, they're sort of opening their books now.
Here's the physics organization article on this patent, and they just talk about it a little bit, and same basic things that are in the patent about the superconductivity and so on. They mention others have claimed to have invented a room temperature superconductor in the past. Last year, 2 Indian scientists claimed to have made a room temperature superconductor using particles of gold and silver. Others physicists are using pressurized lanthanum and hydrogen. Yep, they mentioned a scientist working for the U.S. Navy has filed for a patent on a room temperature superconductor representing a potential paradigm shift in energy transmission and computer systems. So we shall see if it just gets buried or if it ends up becoming something important or not. But this is not that different from what Nikola Tesla put out over 100 years ago, 125 or 30 years ago, actually, when he had the patent for the first what do you call it? Same type of line that we're just talking about there, that you mentioned before there, like for cable, what do you call it? Different radio suppression cable and that kind of thing, that you have an inner core and then you've got an insulator around that, and then an outer core or an outer cover that enables it to keep its signal inside the wire rather than broadcasting.
Koaxialkabel.
Thank you. I couldn't remember. Coaxial, yeah. Coax cable. Exactly. So Nikola Tesla is actually the inventor of the coax cable, if you look it up. And I'm sure he'd have something to say about this invention. Okay, well, we've got... Okay, John, first of all, we got Sebastian had a link here. I was going to have a look at which video this is. This comes from some other place other than the Keshe Foundation, so it's related to the Keshe video, but it's not the... They took it and put it on their site. I don't see where... Oh, I see. Yeah. This is the CO2 kit. If I can get the link from the Keshe Foundation, I don't want to play the... Divine Foundation. I don't know who they are or what they do. And they may have tried to put a copyright on it that ends up being trouble for trying to show it on a video or something. I see a point in there where Mr. Keshe is showing a bunch of cells hooked up. Yeah, I'm not clear on that, how to explain why we don't have a plasma battery that's able to power things quite readily at this point. Seems like we could just build it up from a few cells and continue building things up. But I don't know what results people have been having. I haven't seen one of those in quite some time.
What about that flake making in Ghana?
The which?
The magrav, but it's a flat magrav they're making in Ghana.
And what about that?
How does that work? Because it looks like a plate, not a coil.
A plate, not a coil. Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Keshe doesn't say anything about that, so far as I know.
And there is some blokes. I'll look it up now.
That doesn't produce power. That unit is like the magrav. It doesn't produce any power on its own. It's not able to light a LED even on its own. So it's not a self-sufficient power source. It's not a power source. It's a power reducing system. So you save on your consumption. Yeah, we should be able. Let me try to find the other video. There it is. It's in part 2. Okay, let me get that set up here. Okay, this is the. Oh, I shouldn't see this. The Keshe Foundation CO2 Capture Kit, Part 2. It's on the Keshe Foundation YouTube channel. And I think it was around 13 minutes in, which the other one is 7 minutes. Maybe this would be around 6 minutes in. See if I can find that part. Okay, let's listen to the description here. Let me reshare with the sound. Okay, I'll just play it through here.
For delivery immediately by the manufacturers, and at the same time you learn to become responsible for cleaning up the mess you have blamed your governments to clean for you. The beauty with this package is all the CO2 which you collect, if you put them in a position as we have in the containers, which we show, and we release this in a very near future, you can lead and extract energy back from the material you have collected. You can see 12 volts DC and double that usually in AC. So not only you have cleaned up the CO2 from the environment, at the same time, by being able to use the energy from what you have collected, you stop the future burning of materials to add to the CO2. So indirectly, this game plays two clear, beautiful addition to the cycle knowledge of the man. Not only to clean up, but a new way of what you've been looking for as a free energy. And this can go for years. It's unlimited energy. It depends how you set up your system, how you do it. In 2-3 weeks time, we'll sell the same way as a kit, the rechargeable units. So what it means, when you bought this system, you have a CO2, then you inject your CO2 into these tubes or a similar setup, and then you start charging your battery, you start burning lights around the house 24 hours a day if you want to, without adding to the CO2. And at the same time, because as we've done, you can see it here, as you charge, you can have, as you see in the torch, a free energy. But you can add to it. You can charge a battery, you can charge anything you want to do to use the energy which you have absorbed.
Okay, well, it says it right there in 2000, and that's October 2014, 4.5 years ago. Talks about having rechargeable battery systems, and of course the little flashlight that he had there, which we've seen from back in 2008, I think it was, or at least 2010 or 11. I think at the Eindhoven Expo there, Eindhoven show that Mr. Keshe did, he had the flashlight. But he also mentions it depends on how you set up your systems. So seeing that there's as many types of reactors as there are stars in the universe gives us a lot of leeway to play with and a lot of variables to understand in order to accomplish even a simple battery type system. Sebastian asks, it was CUO GANs. I'm not sure if they had different combinations of GANs or just one GANs in those tests. So there are plasma battery, plasma capacitor, blueprint files available, and there's lots of information on the internet. All you have to do is search for it and be very specific in your searching on Google. Put in the word Keshe and then specifically what you're looking for. Like, well, let's try an example. Let's do a random example. Get my Google page up here.
Ok, estoy preparado. Cuando termina Rick, puedo empezar, John. Gracias.
Gracias a ti. Rick, Johnny has his material to show us. Right?
Okay, let me just show this first and give us a minute here and we'll go for that.
Va a terminar de mostrarnos algo, Rick, y después sí te damos entrada.
Ok, thank you, Rick.
Okay, so if we're in Google, bigger. If we're in Google and say you want to search for creating electricity with the GANs, for example, like we were just trying to do. So what I would do is put in the word Keshe to start with, and then GANs, it's good. And maybe create electricity, or at least electricity. Okay, there's a number of videos on various ways of creating the GANSs and some of the ways to do that. One of the good ways is through KF Wikipedia has lots of good information. You see that came up here. Let's see. Instead of create, maybe electricity, GANs, what else? power. Light, perhaps. I'm getting a lot about the mag gravs specifically. I expected to get more with the some of the other links that might be GANs related. For example, this one in the Wikipedia mentions, that page happened to be deleted. It's been revamped. The Wikipedia has been revamped recently, so that particular page got deleted. But it mentions in that page that the LED lights up when the production is going well and electricity is produced. That's with certain GAN setup. Here's a maybe if we put in the word battery, that would be good. That's what we were actually searching for originally. Here's an experiment, for example, in making Fortunately, they put music in, so we can't play it because they'll do a copyright on us. Another, this is probably a good article from Plasma Production UK on plasma batteries and capacitors. There's a set of instructions and a teaching by Mr. Keshe on making plasma batteries. So that would be a good link to look into. There's all kinds of pictures from the blueprint teachings. See the different blueprint pictures there. How to build capacitors, an easy guide, Keshe plasma technology. So that would be one of the better scores of that search. And so on. So in any case, you can put into your search, along with the word Keshe, all the specifics on what exactly you want to look for. And Wikipedia is getting, Google is getting better and better at picking up the things that are of interest to those that are looking for that information. Okay, just want to say that, so that's enough on that. Let's get back to Gianni and his presentation. Gianni, you want to go ahead?
Okay, Rick, thank you. Tengo que compartir la pantalla.
He has to share the screen.
Has to what, John? Open this
open
video?
I always forget the translation.
Ok, voy a ampliarlo. Aquí es el horno donde lo utilizo. Es un horno que se utiliza en técnica dentaria.
Sí, es eléctrico, ¿no?
Sí, eléctrico.
That's what I said. It's an electric oven he uses for his dentistry work.
Que empieza de la temperatura ambiente hasta 1050 grados.
It goes from normal temperature to 1050 degrees centigrade.
Ahora está arreglado para crecer temperaturas 7 grados al minuto.
He's showing it. He has programmed it to go up 7 degrees up every minute.
Y aquí he obtenido varios espectros.
He has managed several spectrums
utilizando el cobre.
utilizing the copper.
Y aquí se puede ver unos de ellos.
Here you can see some of them. ¿Podés mostrarlo más grande?
Can you
Sí.
get? Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Grandy, I recognized.
Voy a prepararlo para el otro día. De momento voy a enseñar así y quería presentar algo.
And some other day he'll present it properly, but he's showing us right now in a random way.
No estaba preparado para hoy.
He wasn't ready for this today.
Yeah, that's fine. So on this picture, is the difference in color all from one time it was in the oven, or is this multiple?
One time.
Okay, so it shows different temperature levels inside the oven. Hotter at the top, perhaps? Or how does that?
Oh, okay.
¿Cómo logras esos distintos colores? ¿Más caliente en la parte de arriba del horno?
No, eso es por la forma de la pirámide.
It's because of the shape of the pyramid.
Porque en el horno, bueno, normalmente es la misma temperatura.
In the oven, he's got all the same temperature. ¿Y vos has podido dilucidar por qué logras esos distintos colores?
Sí, eso depende de la forma que meto en el horno.
Ajá, es decir, la forma piramidal hace que logres eso.
Sí.
The pyramid form is what makes him reach this different colors, these different colors.
Y por ejemplo, todo lo que meto en el horno está siguiendo una espiral. Por ejemplo, aquí empieza de esa parte, así, y se va a hacer poco a poco toda hasta arriba del todo.
The coloring follows a spiral pattern when he puts it into the oven.
Johnny, I thinking the question is this pyramid is one piece. No, it's a copper. It's making with copper. It's not nano-coating. It's one piece. No, you're making this this pyramid shape. It's one piece. You are putting in the form and after you obtain this color, different color, or you are putting the spiral in the base, one step of nano-coating and another step nano-coating. This is, I think, the question. Thank you, John, for translating.
Es decir, Gianni, vos armás primero la pirámide en cobre, la metes en el horno y va apareciendo los distintos colores en forma de espiral.
Sí, pero quiero aclarar una cosa. La forma que está, los colores que están ahí es porque he parado en un momento para poder enseñar eso.
Ajá. He has managed these different colors because he stopped the oven at a certain moment and he's managed to have these different colors on the pyramid. But the pyramid is made beforehand as seen.
Por ejemplo, eso está en una temperatura de 243 grados centígrados.
243 degrees this was produced.
Y cuando ha alcanzado la temperatura que he dicho, he parado todo.
When you reach the 243 degrees, you stop the whole thing, and that's what we see.
Y para que se queden así, le he metido en agua de CO2 y CNO.
To remain this way, he's put it into plasmatic water, so CO2 water.
Si lo dejo así en la temperatura de 243 grados, se queda hasta arriba del color rodín, el color ese.
Ajá, ¿y cómo logras el color plata?
Eh, eh, como se hace en la espiral, se está pasando por todos los colores.
Yes, he says that as the effect is done in a spiral way in the oven, he manages to get all these different colors.
Y nosotros lo paramos donde queremos. El espectro verde, que le hemos llamado verdín.
He manages different colors. He's managed to stop it at a green color. He calls it verdin, or greenin when it reads in English.
Yes, azul es albastrín.
Or in a blue color.
And would that be at a higher or lower temperature than the, what was it, 400 and something Celsius you were mentioning?
143 is stopped it. ¿Qué colores logras en qué distintas temperaturas?
Plata, oro, verdín, este color. Y utilizo entre 180 grados hasta al nano negro 360 grados.
From 180 degrees, he starts with the silver color and then goes down to or up to black color in 360 degrees.
Por ejemplo, el color de oro, y voy a hacer otro share.
The gold color he's going to show right now.
Lo alcanzamos a una temperatura de 234 grados centígrados.
It reaches this at 234 degrees.
The gold color at 234. So it's before the other colors. I thought it would be after.
Yeah, I was going to comment that also. Gianni, ¿logras el color oro antes de llegar a los 243?
No.
No dije 34.
En la temperatura 234 lo dejo unos 3 minutos para alcanzar este color de oro.
At 234, he leaves it at that temperature for several minutes and he reaches this color you can see right now.
Si no, antes es el color de plata.
If not, before that, it's the silver color.
Depends very much from temperature, from cooling, how fast or how slow is dropping.
¿Tiene que ver la forma que se va enfriando después el material, Gianni?
Sí, después por ejemplo, si quiero dejar este espectro, tengo dos posibilidades. Una, lo dejo en el horno, parar la calor.
234.
Sí. Y el otro lo voy a meter en agua plasmática.
Uh-huh. He does it in two different ways. One way, he turns the oven off at 234 and he reaches this. Or if not, he takes it out of the oven and puts it in the GANS water. ¿Puedes agrandarlo un poquito? Ahí está.
Aquí es el stacker de McGrath.
Sí. These are the normal stacker coils.
Beautiful.
Le hemos parado en el espectro del oro.
You could see it with a gold color.
Y si estás de acuerdo, podemos verlo al microscopio porque estamos preparados con eso, para ver en directo con el microscopio.
he can show us this, how you can see it with a microscope. Sí, adelante, Gianni.
Aquí, bueno, dentro de un momento, aquí en el misma bobina tenemos más espectros. No sé si se va a ver muy claro. No, no se ve. Voy a poner otra.
These are different spectrum colors. After this, you show us the microscope pictures.
No, no se ve muy claro, pero en otro encuentro voy a prepararlo mucho mejor, porque así se va a ver cómo empieza y hacen los colores en espiral.
Uh-huh. He'll show another day. He'll show us prepare the different pictures he's got, the way the color goes changing in a spiral form. He's got over 40,000 pictures of all his agriculture work and all this work. So he's got to sieve through all these pictures. Le estaba diciendo que tenés que ordenar tus 40.000 fotos para poder mostrarnos todo esto.
Sí, he dicho que me ha pasado, he intentado quitar los dobles y me han cambiado todo en el portátil.
He tried to organize all his pictures, but he got so many, it jumbles all his archives.
Johnny, talking about plasma capacitor, where you made it with the children, the experiments.
I didn't get what you mean.
Gianni, vorbește de capacitorul plasmatic, de modul care le-ai pus și ce ai obținut cu voltajul.
Sí, voy a hablar de esto, pero un poquito más adelante, porque ya el capacitor está compartido en los testimoniales y hace casi 8 meses. La batería plasmática solo con GANs.
Uh-huh. Later on, he talked about the capacitors he's made. About 8 months ago, he presented this in the testimonials.
Y cuando se empezó el experimento con lo que se han hecho en China, si se acuerda Rick, hemos hablado de batería plasmática con GANs.
If you can remember, Rick, he's spoken about the experiments in China about the battery capacitors.
Right, yeah.
Voy a empezar con el microscopio.
He's going to show us the microscope pictures.
Very, very beautiful pictures, Gianni. Some of that first pyramid is just amazing to see the variety and intensity of the colors. Beautiful.
Rick está diciendo que es hermoso.
Thank you, Rick.
¿Entendiste lo que dice?
Sí, comprendo el inglés. Bueno, no todas las palabras, pero no estoy acostumbrado a hablar en inglés.
Está bien.
Pero por favor, ayúdame y si puedes traducir es mejor así para los españoles.
Rick comenta de que es fantástico los colores que logra en esa pirámide que nos mostró al principio. Hermoso trabajo.
Tengo muchas formas.
And
go ahead, Rick.
I'm interested in knowing more about this. You mentioned putting the pyramid in GANS water, and that preserves it. It keeps it from further corrosion. It keeps the color.
Gianni, cuando sacas del horno y lo metes en el agua de GANS, ¿con eso logras estabilizar el color y que no se siga oxidando ¿Los colores?
No, es por parar el calor, porque si lo dejo en el horno, puedo obtener lo mismo.
No, it's just to stop the temperature from going higher up, and you get the same effect as he leaves it in the oven at a certain temperature or takes it out.
Okay, so once it's cooled down, then he doesn't store it in the GANS water after that. It's just in air and it's okay.
¿No se te oxida cuando lo dejas en el aire sin ponerle en el agua de GAN?
No, y por eso voy a enseñar a parar el microscopio para enseñar unas cosas y luego voy a abrir el microscopio.
Yeah, he manages to stabilize the color. It doesn't continue oxidizing.
Okay. Yeah.
And
If you could play that video again, that would be great.
Yes, he's going to show it now. The different pictures and videos of the Microscope, where you can see the effect colors on the copper. It's incredible how he manages to get this effect through stabilizing the temperature inside the oven.
Yeah, it's amazing how critical the temperature has to be as well. Just a few degrees will change it quite rapidly. It also depends on the composition of the copper. Different types of copper with additives in it might have a different result.
No, Rick, el cupro es el mismo. No importa si es diferente.
He says it's if you got different small alloys of copper, it doesn't change at all. It's all the same.
Oh, okay.
Por ejemplo, he utilizado siete tipos, por lo menos, 7 tipos de cobre que diferente.
He has tried 7 types, different types of copper, and it's all the same. ¿Podés mostrarnos en grande?
Pero tienes que hacer pinchar la pantalla 2 veces para ver.
Okay. You gotta puncture the picture twice with your mouse to be able to see it in a big manner.
Porque no es por mí eso, creo que está... Ah, bueno, ya.
It's beautiful color, es un color hermoso. ¿Eh?
Sí, y eso está así en el aire de 5 meses.
This was done 5 months ago. No se oxida, y si permanece, no lo tenés que ni cubrir con ningún barniz para que se eche a perder.
Con nada. Si lo tocas con la mano, con eso, no pasa nada.
If you touch it, it doesn't
corrode.
Exactly.
It doesn't oxidize. Go ahead. I have a question. But...
¿No te afecta, Gianni, no te afecta el nano recubrimiento a las manos o estás acostumbrado?
No me afecta.
It doesn't affect your skin either.
Okay, I've got a question about that coil. Does it show resistance like the black nano-coating when you do electrical conduction test?
¿Has medido con un multímetro si tiene resistencia o es resistencia cero con el tester?
No lo he hecho, pero podemos hacerlo en directo.
You can do this in a direct way. He hasn't done it, so he'll show us.
La prueba que he hecho fue con las baterías.
He has used this with a different when constructing the batteries.
Con los pin.
Qué hermoso color.
Gianni, la pregunta es la misma resistencia como el nano-coat normal o eso oro.
No he hecho
la
eso.
Misma medida.
No lo he hecho aún.
Okay.
Rick, normalmente utilizo los guantes cuando trabajo,
Normally, I use my gloves when I work.
pero quería enseñar esto y decir una cosa.
I want to say something about this.
He hecho pulseras
I have done bracelets
porque antes, como he dicho ayer, en la medicina alternativa,
la pulsera de cobre.
sí, he hecho para personas pulseras de cobre. Y ahora he visto que con el espectro de oro, si lo pones en la mano, hay algunas personas que está absorbiendo el nano.
He's made these bracelets for different people, and he's observed that some people absorb the nano covering. Solo algunas personas, no todas.
Bueno,
no le
no
hace
es,
daño.
no, el experimento está hecho por Jetta y cuando se lo ha puesto se ha sentido muy bien.
Putting on the bracelet for his wife, she feels very well with these bracelets, but it doesn't affect her in a negative way.
Como he visto, tengo muchas los pin de diferentes espectros.
He has made many of these pins in different colors.
Y por ejemplo, si como he utilizado el color negro en el pin, en la batería,
He has used the black color in the batteries.
Con los 4 ganses de base,
with the 4 GaNs, base GaNs, basic
he
one.
obtenido 0,6 voltios.
He has managed 0.6 volts in those batteries.
Y con el espectro de oro he obtenido 1,2 voltios.
And with a gold spectrum, he has managed 1.2 volts, double the amount.
Pero aquí todavía estoy experimentando y comprobando.
He's still experimenting and taking notes of what he's doing. It's a long process, isn't it?
Eso es la pequeña.
That's a small one, yeah, and the big one.
Y sí que les voy a montar para ver la resistencia y compararlo con el espectro negro.
He's going to put them together ahora o más adelante?
No, más adelante.
In the
Porque
future,
ahora quería presentar otra cosa.
fine. In future, he'll put those coils together and in the black spectrum and see if what happens with the different resistances. There you got all the different colors you can see.
Wow. That's amazing.
Aquí son...
He makes these coils for making GaN, and the GaN's production starts in 3 to 5 minutes. It practically starts immediately. Those are the coils he makes for the reactors to make the GaN.
Aquí es una bobina que está hecho en el horno.
This is made in the oven. Es un color azul negro.
Sí.
It's a blue-black color.
Que es muy resistente.
¿Tiene mucha resistencia o es duro la cobertura?
La cobertura parece un poco con lo del cáustico.
These coatings are very resistant. It's very similar to the caustic coverings or coating.
Y en vez de utilizar el LED,
instead of using the lead,
yo voy a hacer la conexión así, la bobina de zinc lo meto en la bobina de arriba de cobre nano.
He just
Y los,
the zinc and the copper that way into the reactor, and he'll show us the way the GAN starts coming up in very quick way. Es para
así,
mostrar que comenzará en forma rápida. He just couples it this way. He doesn't use a lead or anything.
así. Y aquí, en ese que es solo un hilo, lo
Look,
voy a apretar un poquito.
just pressures the wire a bit there and hangs it up in the reactor.
Perfect.
Y aquí encima se hace como una batería plasmática.
It's like a plasmatic battery up there.
Bueno, batería capacitor.
Capacity battery, yeah.
Y por eso la tensión es muy pequeña entre las dos bobinas.
There's very little voltage between the two coils.
Por eso no hace falta poner el LED.
You don't need to put the lead there because this is
Y para obtener, por ejemplo, CO2, utilizo las bobinas a una distancia de entre 4 y 5 centímetros.
he puts the coils at the distance in between them of 4 to 5 centimeters, and he gets the CO2 GANs.
Y para el zinc utilizo 10-12 centímetros.
And for zinc oxide, it's 5 to 12 centimeters distance between the coils. Oh, that's a nice data, no? You separate the coils or whatever with a different distance, and you got different materials.
Aquí es una pirámide que también está hecho en el horno con el espectro negro.
This is done in the oven with a black spectrum.
What temperature would that be?
¿A qué temperatura lo logras, Gianni?
360 grados,
300.
centígrados.
Yeah, 360 degrees. The interesting thing is that these ovens, with a precise temperature, you can do many things.
Aquí tenemos un star formation.
Ajá, una formación de estrella.
Sí. Y también está hecho con aminoácido, gas y aminoácido de cobre.
Aminoácido de cobre. ¿Qué quiere decir
Sí.
con eso?
GANs of copper and amino acid from top of GANs of copper.
Yes. Por eso se puede ver el gas y el aminoácido.
Sí, sí, ya vemos. Sí.
También está obtenido en el horno.
And what will you do with that?
¿Qué haces con eso, Gianni? ¿Qué logras hacer?
Voy a hacer un dispositivo que está hecho con 4. Bueno, ¿puedes traducir, por favor?
His idea is to make these 4 pyramids to make a star formation, I imagine. Que es hacer una formación estrella con 4 pirámides.
Sí.
Yes.
Pero tienes que traducir. O sea, comprendido.
Ya lo dice, pero with 4 pyramids, his idea is to make it into a star formation.
Y eso, las bobinas que lo tengo aquí, ahora voy a meterlo en el cáustico.
¿Ese es zinc o cobre?
Eso es cobre. Los espectros que he enseñado con...
Por el color, por ahí uno lo confunde con el zinc, porque vos tenías bobinas hechas con zinc también.
Sí, pero el zinc, el color del zinc es otro.
These are all copper? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm asking. Those are all copper. And he's going to put it into the caustic soda.
Mira el zinc.
That is zinc color. Yeah, it's more silvery.
Esas bobinas, todas que he enseñado, voy a hacer un experimento, meterlo en cáustico.
Frío, calculo.
No,
Cáustico.
caliente, caliente.
He's
Bueno, no, perdona, no cáustico, y solo voy a empezar con lo de aburrir.
¿Con lo de qué?
Voy a poner la segunda cosa que
Steaming.
se hace. Sí,
In vapor.
en vapor, sí.
He's going to show us this and put it into the vapor caustic soda, the second process, so we can see how this works.
So he's going to put those coils that are already those colors into the vapor. Is that what he's saying?
So, ¿cuándo lo vas a hacer? ¿Más adelante o ahora?
Hoy por la tarde.
He's going to do this this afternoon, the experiment, all these different color coils. He's going to put them into the caustic soda vapor.
La pregunta es, sorry Johnny, la pregunta es che chiede Rick, es this coil, questa bobina che ha il colore, lo metti, lo metti, îl pui în la aburire, așa cum zici lei, și le pui la aburire.
La aburire...
Asta e răspunsul Rick.
Sí, le voy a poner en vapor para que intento obtener un nano composite.
His idea is to manage a composite nano coating on those coils.
Y voy a enseñar una cosa que tiene 3 semanas de cuando lo he hecho.
He's going to show us something he's done 3 weeks ago. That work is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. We do have a question about still about the resistance, but let's carry on. We'll get to that later.
Esto es en el soda cáustica de vapor. ¿La calientas un poco a la soda cáustica o la dejas fría?
El agua lo caliento hasta 60-80 grados.
Ajá, ¿el agua o la soda cáustica?
Soda cáustica, hidróxido de potasio y un poquito de sal.
Ajá. He does it with caustic soda, what is it?
Potassium hydroxide.
Hydroxide and a bit of salt in it. And he puts it up into 50, 60 degrees.
Y aquí eso está en eso de 24 días.
He put this there for 24 days.
That one was gold, I think, to start with, right? It was a gold-looking coil.
¿Qué color tenía esa bobina al principio?
Varios colores porque lo he hecho con varios espectros para ver qué pasa.
It had different colors, that same coil, because he was trying to see what happened with the different.
Okay.
Y ahora quería enseñar otra cosa.
This is something else.
Que es también un nano hecho en el horno.
Ajá, es que es un plato de cobre.
Sí.
This is a copper plate.
Y aquí una placa de cobre, nano, que no es muy duro el nano.
The nano is very hard, resistant.
Yes, y si lo toco con
una pinza.
Con una pincha o con eso.
No le lastima.
No pasa nada con él.
Incredible, ¿eh?
What about the electrical conductance? Is it a resistor? greater than 20 megohm.
¿Qué resistencia tenés con el tester?
No, aún no he hecho los
Ay,
test.
did this. ¿No tienes un tester ahí como para medir?
Sí que lo tengo. Pero no está Jetta para ayudarme, para... Bueno, lo puedo poner aquí. A ver, ¿cómo queráis que lo pongo?
Sí, en mega ohm o en 200.000 ohm.
En 2000 o 200.
Should be
200.
megohm,
Más
not
grande.
milliohm.
200.000 si tienes en la escala. 200 is on the scale. ¿Cuál es la resistencia más alta que tienes en el tester?
Tengo 2000.
2000 ohm. Pero
No,
2000 es bajo.
mira.
En 20M, ponele.
Should be
200.
on the
20, 20 mega.
Yeah, 20 M. Big M.
20M mejor todavía. El más alto. Para ver
Un kilo es 1000. Mega es
millón.
Yeah, it should be upwards of, like there's a question in the chat here. Could you please ask Gianni, from which temperature on upward you can see the resistance of greater than 20 megohm? Because the high resistance is showing that a conductor is really nano-coated. And that's...
Well, he hasn't done these tests yet.
Es 0. ¿Me has oído, John? 0.
Zero resistance?
Zero.
it's 1 or 0. It's out of scale or is 0. It's no resistance.
It's complete.
0. Pero eso lo vamos a hacer otra vez cuando va a venir Jetta. Y entonces...
Long he'll be able to manage it properly. Because he can't manage it. He hasn't got 5 arms. No tiene 5 brazos para hacer todo.
Bueno, sí, pero no en este planeta.
Not in this planet.
Bueno, eso sí que lo vamos a hacer y también, John, lo vamos a hacer y grabarlo, porque quiero hacer con todas y con tu ayuda. Y cuando va a venir Jetta vamos a hacer una reunión y hacerlo en directo. Pero quería decir cómo he obtenido eso.
He wants to say how he's obtained this. The different experiments he's going to do when his wife Jetta comes along and helps him out. And he'll do this some other time.
Jetta es, bueno, es mi señora y ya nosotros ahora está con las niñas. Bueno, las niñas son las peritas, las peras.
His wife is with kids right now.
Mira, John, aquí está una placa de cobre.
That is a copper plate. ¿Sí? ¿Qué le hiciste ahí?
Aquí en esta parte está hecho con polvo de, ¿cómo se dice? Sablator.
Catametrada.
¿Qué es?
Se utiliza para pulir los metales. Que se hace... Sí.
Polish with silica.
Sí, con silicio. Que es muy, muy fino.
He has used a very fine silica polish on that zone.
With the pressure air.
¿Y si usas un papel de lija de 2000 o 3000? ¿Qué pasa?
No, air and
sandblasting.
you have the air with the pressure and this little particle take away from material and making the hole and
¿Has
everything.
usado un arenado entonces ahí?
Sí, el aparato se utiliza en la técnica dentaria,
Ah, sí, done sandblasting.
Yes, right.
pero también se utiliza para los que pintan los coches.
Sí, sí, el sandblasting sería el
Sí.
arenado.
Y mira, aquí está el espectro de oro,
Mhm. The gold color there.
pero lo he hecho para que se vean la diferencia y eso mucho mejor vamos a verlo con el microscopio.
He has done this to show us the different results with the gold color, and he's going to show us with a microscope.
It's a thin layer. It's crushing the layers. It's polish. It's like a mirror.
¿El sandblasting lo hiciste después de hacer la cobertura dorada o antes?
Antes porque he visto que ya se hace el nano diferente.
Uh-huh. He's done the sandblasting first, and to be able to see what happens with a nano covering, he's managed to get a different looks of a nano cover.
Yeah, the preparation is very important for the results. Jed, I had a question. Once you make a golden coating, what shall the second caustic process add to the quality of the material? So what do you think happens when you make the caustic process after the golden coating?
Those are all experiments he has to do. There's so many things he wants to try out.
Well, he's got the place and the equipment to do it. That's great.
Yeah.
It's like adding the other nano layers of nano coat in top. It's mixing. It's like Mr. Keshe is saying.
Yes, but the whatever substrate you have, whatever you start with, that'll be where the nano coating comes from, because it's a bottom up process. It doesn't come down from the top. It uses that whatever you start with. If it's shiny or if it's rough or whatever, that'll be what the actual copper gets formed from. So that initial stuff makes a big difference. Whether there's people that create copper nano wires, nanospheres, nanocubes, nano pyramids, and you can actually custom make the surface of your nanomaterial if you wish, depending on the exact process that it's prepared, and then of course the process that you to use to actually produce it. Okay, here's some good microscope pictures. So tell us what this is.
Rick, los experimentos que hago con esas bobinas es un experimento para los ganses que voy a utilizar para obtener energía. Bueno, baterías, condensadores.
He's doing all these tests to be able to have different ganses for trying out in capacitors and batteries.
Y después de repetir la experiencia, hago conclusiones mirando al microscopio, pero también veo que siento con mi cuerpo.
He repeats the different experiments, and then he relies on what he sees through the microscope and what he feels with his senses.
Okay, what are we seeing here now? What's this picture of?
Aquí es el cobre hecho con el polvo de silicio.
This is the sandblasted copper.
Y aquí estamos en medio. Bueno, aquí es sin estar hecho con nada.
Que tiene esas rayaduras, viene de fábrica de la placa.
Sí, así viene de la fábrica.
Those marks on the plate is what comes from the factory.
Y aquí
What
lo voy a...
teaser of or microscope you have in this picture?
¿Cuántos aumentos?
120. 120x.
120 plus by 120 magnification.
Ah, no, perdón, 60. Ahora
Ah.
es 60.
Now he's showing with a 60 magnification.
And
Bueno.
this is before heating, correct?
Esto es antes de calentarlo.
Sí.
Yes.
Y ahora voy a poner el espectro de oro.
He shows the golden spectrum.
Y también lo he hecho con el polvo de cobre. Y pasa lo mismo.
He shows now with the copper powder, and it's all the same.
Y aquí está donde no he hecho con el silicio.
This is the common copper plate without having any process. Pero está nano recubierto.
Sí, también está nano recubierto, pero muy fino y eso se va muy deprisa.
This is a natural plate the way it comes, and it loses the nano covering very fast.
Y aquí no.
And with the sandblasting, it remains much stronger.
Aquí es el plato que he enseñado de oro.
The small plate, copper plate he showed us.
Que está, tiene casi 6 meses.
Was done 6 months ago. Ese plato seguramente fue hecho en un torno, entonces tiene otro tratamiento a la superficie.
El tratamiento es lo mismo que he enseñado. Lo he hecho del principio, hace 6 meses, para utilizarlo con los dientes que ponemos dentro.
Those plates he uses to put the teeth in the oven. And that's the way he treats he does all this work with dentistry.
Is nano-coating environment nano-coat? You have in the bottom this plate of copper nano, and you put it in the horn.
No he comprendido todo.
Dice que pones el plato ese en el horno con los dientes que estás trabajando.
Nu, Gianni, vreau să zic că dacă ai obținut-o prin punerea plăcii nano-acoperite pe fundul, deci în mediul nano-acoperit și pus în forn.
He obtenido, claro, eso ya he hablado del experimento en los testimoniales del mes de diciembre. Pero siempre lo primero que he hecho, he metido en el horno nano de cobre y he metido el silicio y zinc. Encima del horno tengo las placas que has visto, las placas nano cubiertas. Y he obtenido en el horno un medio nano. Bueno, un medio plasmático.
Make this question
¿Podrías explicar eso de nuevo, Gianni? ¿Qué pones unas placas fuera del horno para lograr un campo de fuerza dentro del horno?
En el horno he metido polvo de nano de cobre, polvo de silicio.
Ahora, ¿cómo logras el polvo? ¿Raspas una chapa de cobre nano recubierta?
Lo obtengo con las placas. Lo meto en el horno a una temperatura de, digamos, 500, 600 grados centígrados y luego lo meto en agua. Bueno, aquí no es necesario porque si lo metes si lo meto a 500 grados, el nano se va muy fácil.
Ajá.
¿Puedes traducir?
Sí. when he treats the copper with 500 degrees in the oven and he puts it into Gans water, the nano-coating is very delicate. It comes off very easily. Adelante, Gianni.
Bueno, aquí está lo mismo que he presentado antes con las placas de cobre, que está hecho con silicio. Y
Ajá.
aquí sí.
This is sandblasted copper. ¿Y esto?
Y es la misma placa, pero si no está hecho con el silicio, el nano se va.
Ajá. This is the copper without the sandblasting, and the nano coating is very delicate. It comes off very easily.
Así, lo que se ve en las imágenes, aquí fue metido en el horno una vez a 360 grados.
This is a picture of taken from the copper done at 360 degrees. Una vez que fue arenado con el silicio, ¿no?
Sí.
Yeah, this is copper was treated with a sandblasting and put at 360 degrees.
He hecho 3 placas para enseñar eso y mitad lo he hecho con silicio, mitad lo dejo para que quede muy claro cómo se hacen, cómo lo hago.
He's done this on 3 different plates, with half of it being treated with sandblasting and the other half without any treatment, so you can see the difference.
Ahora voy a enseñar el plato, que ya es casi indestructible el nano.
The plate he's shown us, it's practically indestructible.
Y eso fue en el horno creo que unos 20 veces.
It's been put in the oven about 20 times.
Y ya no se cambie, se está ampliando el nano, creciendo.
The nano continues to grow.
Does it appear blue-black to him? Is it black or blue-black?
Blue-black. Blue-black.
Thank you.
Aquí es la placa nano. Y como he dicho, si lo pinchas o esto no pasa nada.
If you puncture it or whatever, it doesn't. Nothing happens to it.
It's like a diamond structure. It's very hard to break.
This is interesting for the different factories to put into practice.
It'd be great to see a even more magnified image of that surface.
Podríamos ver con mayor ampliación del microscopio, Gianni.
En este microscopio no, pero tengo otro.
Sí. He's got another microscope that has more amplification. Este sería 60 aumentos, ¿no? Con el alambre.
Sí. Esto es el alambre hecho con lo que he dicho, con el silicio.
This is sandblasted wire at 60 amplification.
Y aquí es sin hacerlo con nada.
That's non-treated sandblasting. The wire that hasn't been sandblasted.
But this one's been sandblasted and put in the oven, right?
Esto ha sido tratado con arenado y después puesto en el horno.
No, el nano que se puede ver es porque tengo nano en todos los sitios.
Pero ¿qué tratamiento? ¿Cómo lograste ese nano?
No, aquí no es nano, es
Cobre.
simplemente el cobre, nada más.
Just plain copper.
Okay. Right.
But living
You
in
can,
the
you can
environment,
see you can see some of the sand embedded in it there. There's a piece of quartz, it looks like.
Yeah, a different.
Pero pasa una cosa que si está hecho con el polvo de silicio, en el medio nano, sin ponerlo en el horno en cualquier sitio, se está haciendo nano.
Ajá, sin tener que ponerle ningún procedimiento, se hace nano solo.
Sí.
He manages to create a nano covering without any treatment.
because living in every room, it's a nano-coating. It's an environment with nano-coat. It's like in the bottom, in the field plasma field. It's nano-coating in plasma way.
Aquí es el zinc.
That is the zinc.
Y voy a encontrar el zinc que está hecho con el polvo.
Looking for the zinc wire that has been treated with the sun blasting.
Un momento, por favor.
Just a moment.
You obtain the mix of copper and silica, and when you grow as a nano layer, it's not different. It's two materials together.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's would be quartz is what, mostly carbon, isn't it?
Sand is with silica, oxygen, and I don't know. I don't remember in what formula, chemic formula, have the sound.
Okay.
Yeah, silicon oxide.
And remember when Mr. Keshe say when making nano coat in the in hot caustic soda, baking in hot environment, you're thinking because you have the plastic of bottle, you have the zinc galvanized, iron galvanized in the bottom, and the copper. It's few people making only with the copper and only copper. It's a nano layer, is not only copper. Between and in structure you have also carbon, also hydrogen, also oxygen. You have amino acid. It's not only atom of copper.
That's right. So the quartz would have, it's SiO4 silicon in a tetrahedra, basically. So it's a silicon, quartz is basically little silicon pyramids, right? Very hard silicon pyramids. So part of the sandblasting process might add the especially with the heat that might distribute it, it could add little, very hard coating to the whole process.
No lo he encontrado, así que lo he hecho ahora con el silicio.
He couldn't find the zinc wire he had treated, so he's just made it to show us. Yeah, you can see the small squares of the base of the tetrahedron. Incredible.
Aquí es sin nada.
That is the natural zinc. And that is sandblasted.
Y ahora voy a compartir cómo se ve el silicio.
Now he's going to show how we can see the silica oxide.
Esos son las partículas,
Those are the particles of silica.
pero voy a traer un poquito más que se vea más claro.
You're going to show us in a more clearer way.
Quartz has a really high melting temperature, so it wouldn't tend to melt to form a coating as such, but sure would be tough.
Yeah. Well, a glass is normally silica, and you melt glass, the glass is always a liquid. It's never a solid.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the transition temperature.
Eso es muy fino.
Eso es solo el óxido de silicio sin nada abajo.
Sí.
This is the silica oxide.
Está en una cosa en la mesa que está de color rojo porque si no, no se ve nada.
Yeah, he's put it on a red table to be able to see it. If not, you can't notice.
Eso es 20 microns,
20 microns.
¿sí? Y voy a traerlo el otro que tenemos aquí de 250 microns.
Okay, to be clear, that's the material that he uses to do the actual sandblasting with, correct?
Lo que nos está mostrando es el material que usas para arenar las piezas.
¿Sí?
Yes, that's the material he uses.
Thank you for that information. I was wondering about that. Oh, an even more magnified picture. Aha, aha.
Like diamonds.
Yeah, little diamonds, yeah. So it would make sense when one of those chunks hits the wire, it would leave an imprint of like a negative diamond in the actual wire, you might say.
Cuando la sílica golpea el cobre, le deja pequeños orificios, seguramente.
Sí, cavidades pequeñas.
Exactamente. Yes,
Pero aquí esto que aquí es unos 250 veces más pequeños de como este.
Ajá. ¿Qué aumento tenés ahí? ¿200 y el otro 2000?
250 y aquí es 250 veces más pequeño de como el primero.
Ajá.
This is normally and 200. Why?
This is double amplification. It's incredible how you notice it's very much smaller.
Eso que es más fino lo voy a enseñar otra vez con el microscopio que amplía de 1020 veces.
He's going to show us this at 1020 amplification.
He hecho todos los experimentos para obtener un nano que podemos utilizarlo y no se va deprisa.
I've been doing all these experiments to obtain a nano covering which won't degrade easily.
It's like a force, like you are changed in the matter.
También hemos obtenido en lo de espectros de colores en horno con leña.
He's going to show us some he's managed to make the nano coverings with a wooden oven.
Pero claro, después de hacer echar el nano y las otras cosas dentro del horno.
Pero, ¿qué haces? El nano recubrimiento y después lo calentás en el horno de leña.
No, Rick. No, John. Voy a enseñar ahora. Y abrir otra vez el microscopio. Pero lo primero voy a abrir la cámara. Aquí tengo el material nano.
Ajá, ¿y eso qué es? Lo que se te cayó de una chapa de cobre en nano recubierta.
De las placas de cobre. Y
Ajá,
voy a enseñarlo al microscopio.
fine. This is a nano covering that has dropped off the flakes, and he's going to show us on in the microscope.
Has dropped off the plates that weren't prepared. Is that what he means? That weren't sandblasted.
Exactly, yeah. When it drops off, he collects them.
I've noticed that you can take an ordinary copper penny and heat it up on a burner, and then if you drop it into water, the layers flake off quite easily normally.
Eso es el nano que antes de empezar a obtener los espectros lo meto en el horno. Es que ya sabéis todos que quedan de las placas de cobre y que hacemos el nanocubrimiento con fuego.
Ajá, pero fuego con leña.
No, eso lo meto en el horno.
Ah, pero ¿el qué horno? No el eléctrico, el de gas.
No, con leña.
Ajá. This is, he gets the copper plates and puts them in a wooden oven, and the covering, the nano covering, is not all that strong, and these are all the flakes that come off the nano covering.
John, normalmente para que quede muy claro, en el horno donde se hace el pan tradicional, es un horno con leña.
Sí, sí. He does this process in the oven he uses for baking bread, done with wooden fire.
Antes de trabajar con el horno, yo meto dentro el nano que se vean. ¿Puede
Pero
traducir?
¿un horno caliente del horno de pan?
No, en el horno.
Ah, pero ¿en cuál horno?
En el horno donde se hace el pan.
Por eso.
John, la idea es que si estamos haciendo un medio nano en cualquier horno, podemos obtener los espectros.
Uh-huh. He wants to show that in different ovens you could obtain the different all these different spectrums also.
Porque también se puede obtener en el horno con gas.
You could also obtain this in the gas oven. Sí, en el horno de gas por ahí tienes carbón mezclado en el nano recubrimiento, ¿no?
Sí. La idea es que, como ha dicho Mr. Keshe, tenemos más de 20.000 posibilidades de obtener materiales.
Ajá.
También Jetta ha hecho, bueno, con Jetta hemos hecho otro experimento en las cenizas.
Ajá.
Y también hemos obtenido espectros diferentes, pero claro que en las cenizas no puedes controlarlas muchas.
Yeah, he's done different experiments in different types of ovens, with wooden, gas ovens, and what have you. But you can't control temperatures that easily, and normally they flake off much easier.
And would utilize espera, and utilize the ashes. Okay.
He sometimes uses the hot ashes also to nano cover the.
La idea es que cualquier persona, si hay, bueno, una necesidad, puede obtener en el horno mucho mejor de como con la lámpara con gas. ¿Has oído, John?
Sí, estoy hilvanando la idea. Es decir, el horno a gas en vez de una antorcha, decimos, un soplete.
Sí, en vez de utilizar eso,
El soplete, sí.
en el horno, con gas o con leña o eléctrico, puedes obtener un nano, si es necesario de repente.
Ajá, de que mejor calidad.
Sí,
Ajá, you obtain a better quality in an oven, be it with wood, gas, or whatever, than using a torch. I imagine it's because you got an even coverage of the temperature. Debe ser porque logras una mejor cobertura uniforme de la temperatura en la chapa de cobre.
sí. Y esto he visto trabajando con los niños, con personas mayores, que tardan mucho en obtener el estrado nano con fuego.
Ajá, sí.
Pero quería decir, bueno, traduzca esto, por favor, y quiero completar algo.
You've seen this with kids and elderly people. It's pretty difficult for them to manage a proper nano covering with a gas stove. Yeah, it's normally you got to have a good eye and manage the torch in a particular way to get a good nano. Seguramente porque tienes que lograr una temperatura estable con el soplete y con la muñeca, ¿no? Una criatura, una persona mayor no lo puede dominar tan fácil. Y esto lo
Sí,
the
sí, por eso. Y quería decir que no tengo aquí para enseñar cómo se ve el estrato nanocáustico.
he would like to show us nano structure done with a caustic soda, but he hasn't got it at hand right now.
Pero voy a enseñarlo otra vez en otra reunión.
He will show us this some other time.
Y quería decir que siempre digo a todas las personas que el estrado nanocáustico es mejor de todos.
He can show us that the nano covering done with caustic soda is much better, the best one of all. Pero ¿cuál cáustico? ¿El caliente o cuál de ellos?
El procedimiento que está puesto en Wiki y en la fundación.
Sí, pero hay
Inmersión, vapor y todo.
Claro, exactamente. He has managed to get the results in a better way through the hot caustic method, which is taught in the foundation.
Cuando hacemos las presentaciones en el colegio, o en el parque o en cualquier sitio, estamos hablando de eso y invitar a la gente que lo hacemos juntos en el laboratorio.
¿Pero con soda cáustica o con calor?
Con soda cáustica.
Uh-huh. He teaches the people how to do it with a caustic soda in different places. The caustic soda way. Tiene que tener mucho cuidado para que no se lastime, ¿cierto?
Por eso con el cáustico trabajamos solo en el laboratorio y con guantes, con gafas y todo lo que es necesario.
The caustic soda method he only teaches in his laboratory using gloves and eye protection and whatever.
Y también hablamos de nano con fuego.
We also talk about the hot torch method.
Como una alternativa cuando hay una necesidad y tienes que obtenerlo deprisa.
This is done when you need to get a fast procedure done and get some results in a fast mode.
Bueno, gracias por compartir eso con vosotros. Y si hay preguntas.
He's thanking us for watching his experiments, and I thanked him for what he's done. And has anybody got a question?
Yes.
Well,
hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So we are working with nano-coating by using different fields. With the oven, we are talking about temperature. So we are controlling the exact temperature that we need to reach a color. A color is a configuration of a polarized surface of the nano-coating. So once we reach 234 degrees, the angle, refraction angle, shall give us a golden color. So this is because temperature, in fact, is working together within sound. So by melting and growing the surface of the nano-coating is producing a resonant cymatic fingerprint. Then you could see light when you put these coils in the oven. In fact, they are shining. And that is the next stage. So you can actually reach the same kind of colors by using light, sound, or temperature, or by controlling with 3 different fields at the same time. So adding sound to the reaction in the oven, you would obtain even figures or colors that are different from the ones we usually find, like a violet, purple, or electric blue. There are passages. We used to find this when we worked on coils and fire and the flame. And so that is happening in 20, 30 seconds, 1 minute. But then it just fades because we're not able to stop the reaction immediately. We should throw the coil in the water, maybe, and but damaging the external part of it. In any case, it would give us a color. So a golden, a green, a blue, violet, purple, and then go to black when you reach thousands of levels. This has to do with quasicrystals, in fact. It is an arrangement. And we see a symmetry, so we can see the lines, parallel lines and structures, or broken symmetry. When there is broken symmetry, the material is not going to resonate very well. So in fact, it's the best way should be to follow a resonant kind of sound, or to place the oven in an environment where this sound is taking place, a very, very low sound that does not disturb, for example, 20 hertz, 30 hertz note, and see what happens. It should give a perfect coating, because you had to temperature this frequency that is polishing within the heat and melting particles and moving waves. They are polishing the material. So what I understand is that adding silica, it's quite interesting because then we can harden the material. It shall not break easily. But this process then is going to add something else, some rigidity, let's say, rigidity. And it's going to isolate the coils in some way. Although we are talking about plasmatic, and so fields just go through, it shall isolate some of the frequencies, so affect the liquidity and gasidity of the structures. So colors are interesting because they give us the fingerprint, and so we have copper of 10 different kinds because it has been arranged in a specific way. And so this is a solid transmutation. If it is a random transmutation, it's not really very good because that is not allowing resonance to take place. If we reach the perfect color or the perfect structure, then that is a quasi-crystal working, and so it shall vibrate with specific frequencies. And this is building antennas, for example. It's a perfect kind of device, which is finely tuned to a specific energy or frequency or length wave. So this is a very, very nice work. We have to take a look at the microscopic figures, 1,000 and then go to 10,000, and to see the various levels, because there are different behaviors. Have the apparent one that we can see with our eyes, so that is the light that is coming back. Then you shall see the little tiny crystals, and then you shall see the shape of the net that is connected or atomic figure. So it is a constant way to understand and to test, but here we need these three elements: light, sound, and temperature, to work at the same time. Even when we use caustic, we have introduced in liquidity temperature. There is boiling water, and because caustic is rising up, the temperature is burning. So here we have a kind of liquid oven taking place. And this is producing bubbles. These bubbles are in fact sound, vibrations. And light is taking place within the transmutation because photons are working. We are working in the nanostate level, so a dimension where photons enter in the equation. So we have the three elements taking place, and within a liquid oven, let's say with caustic, if you just let it rest there for, let's say, 4 months, you shall find 60,000, 80,000 levels of nano-coating. It shall be totally black, of course, because of the quantity of nano layers that are, in fact, grow upon the first levels. But these levels are not exactly the same because there is something that is taking place. They are alive. fields are living fields. So we have no real perfection, total perfection within structure, because it shall mutate according to sounds within the environment and light, so day and night. And this is something that we can see enlarging the image of the ganses placed on the nanoplates. You just take pictures of them and you see that there are different configurations and structures. So even substances, metals. This is when we, for water, the caustic, we are working within the vapor. So that is the octave is higher up. So going through harmonics, we shall transform the surface, levigating it in a much thinner way. And then we use just light, but we are not conscious that light is taking place. And even sound, if you imagine a microphone in the water, it does not give very high harmonics. Once the water is not in the container, and so you have air, there you find very high harmonics. So sound affects the structure of the layers. So it's dealing with these three elements: temperature, sound and vibration, and light. So taking care of the three levels, temperature is something that we can understand. We just fix the temperature with the oven and that's it. And sound, we can work with it. It is still resonating, it is still producing a sound, and it will react to that kind of sound. So the fingerprint in the structure is a part of the idea. What are you going to do with it? Why should you produce? Yes.
The factor time is for elements. The time, because when your atom from magnetic gravitational field is coming back, this atom to the structure in short time, it's a way. When it's a long time, it's another way. The time is important for me.
But time, in fact, it is connected to magnetic gravitational, and light is the expression of this transmutation, what you see. And what you see is the change within normal. It's night and day. So it's a cycle. And this cycle is, in fact, something that you should control to produce what you need. The moment we have this material, let's say that it is golden on the first level, because we made a golden coil in the oven, and then we want to coat it again and it shall become a black one. So within the material we have two, within the coils we have two nodes. In fact, we have created plenty more, but we have two principal nodes, which is the golden one and the black one, so these two colors. But we know that by looking at the field that is generated by these kind of coils, we understand that they are a scalar expression. So the 40,000 different layers shall produce, each of them, the tiny dots you find there, the nano layers, they shall produce their harmonic. So plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, etc. So it is a white kind of sound. It's called white noise. And it shall affect, it's like in every direction. It's not polarized. But once we reach a polarized coil, so a golden one, or a green one, that by itself, it has qualities that we could use by creating too many passages. Then we probably miss the crystal structure, going towards chaotic expression. That would be, it would be, let's say, a better way to produce 4 different color coils and build a reactor that has the 4 different notes. So it's a chord, like you do in music. And that chord, so it's going to vibrate, and then you can just change a little the frequencies by using light or gases, because within a specific atmosphere, the harmonics are going to change. The position of move a little, and so the note is going to go down or higher up a little.
Sorry, we lost your voice there, Jedi.
Condition.
Not sure.
That is my own.
We just lost your last sentence there, Jedi.
Yeah, I was saying that because these coils, which are a passive kind of instrument, control to fine-tune this kind of coil to a frequency, we should place it in an atmosphere where a specific gas composition gives different harmonics. So it shall move the frequency of the instrument itself to a higher level or lower. So even if it is a solid state, it is a quantum crystal and affected by the interaction of the fields. And so it's not even solid anymore. We have the object and that's a solid one. But it is one, it's golden. I would make something like gold, silver, green, and red, let's say, and see what this kind of reactor does. The same coils, but within a structure, a pyramidal structure, a prism, that has these colors. Then by just placing the kind of you to create on top, so you just move the position of the pyramid, you move it, the one that is on top, in fact, is dictating. And so you have a 4-field instrument right away, a reactor. By placing it, of course, in an environment, let's say a planetary environment, so on the ground. This is a very nice work, very nice. And okay, let's see next time probably the images, the microscopic images, because these are very important. Because when structure is, you can see structure, you can see quasi-crystals, you understand the work, what is taking place. And although we'll consider matter something that does not move a lot, oscillate. In fact, it is liquid. Just imagine, just consider a mountain, consider 1,000,000 years and the mountain is just moving like with the way. It has to do with time, of course. In fact, these are time crystals, quasi-time crystals, even worse. It's not so easy, but it is the expression of the position of the fields within the flow of time. And because of the magnetic gravitational plasmatic field, things are held together. Once you move, you resonate fields. Then you can rearrange everything. That is what happens when healing takes place. You rearrange order within a structure that was chaotic. So you have introduced again symmetry where there was noise. So by enlarging the images you find, you get your plates and put them on the scanner, and you go 9,600, you just enlarge it, DPI, and see that is a microscope. Just take a look. There are structures exactly that they just growing, and ganses together with the nano structure of the coating within the plates, it shall give you exact configurations sometimes. Sometimes it shall be a chaotic one. So that is according to your environment. So if you take notice of this image you have every time you follow one of these processes creating ganses, then you shall find out if the process was a good one, or there were maybe interferences, changes, a mood change, or too much noise, or radio frequencies, whatever. And you find every level, it's just recording what is happening in a solid state figure. So imagine that a quartz crystal is a recording that is going on for 2 million years. So everything is written within silica, within a stone, a crystal. But we should try to understand and to read each level. Every level is just like by cutting a true cross. So you say it's 25 years old. So it has to do with three the most important probably energies you are dealing with is light, sound, and temperature, seen as three different qualities. By being able to master the three together within transmutation, then we can build wonderful apparatus devices. It's a kind of solid transmutation that is not anymore randomic. It is working within equilibrium. It is working within translational symmetry. You shall be able to control the spin, and so quantum mechanics by adding light, flashes, and sound.
You can create the gradient between the field, two fields or three fields, without temperature without light, because light is also gradient of plasma, is plasma. Everything is plasma.
Yes, but when we say everything is plasma, it's oversimplifying. When I say I give you three qualities, so I give you three ingredients. Now I say I read this kind of effects by changing temperature, changing sound, and changing light. There you place constants that is going to work within this equation, and you learn. Of course, temperature, sound, and light, they belong to a plasmatic and are the fifth field. But you cannot use that field by itself because, let's say, we do not access this kind of transmutation knowledge, understanding, just by saying one word. So we need qualities.
May I interfere?
Yes, please. It's not intense. We are working together.
Can you explain one thing? Can you freeze this picture, please? No, go back. Even this, leave it like, no, go back. Like you can see matter in plasma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if this matter you see, each particle, let's say it's nucleus.
Yeah.
Consider it. So they all packed. But what that nucleus made of?
What the answer?
Yeah, this is let's say okay.
Neutrons and protons.
Okay, neutron and what's neutron and proton made of?
Package of plasma.
Huh?
Package of plasma.
Package of plasma, correct. Package
Energy.
of strength of this plasma. Let's say this copper, the strength of the copper is different and zinc is different. So another question, how come, let me annotate if I can.
How come that?
How come you have a sun and, oh my God. How come you have a sun? Sorry for my drawing. And you have a earth, let's say here is the earth with atmosphere. When the field come, is this field have a name? Is this field, when it comes to enters to atmosphere, does it have a name? Or is this plasma field, meaning entering into the atmosphere, then here it's slowed down enough that it can create this package of energy?
Packet of energy is there all the time.
No, it's a matter that you are holding it.
You don't see it whilst the sun is shining, because that packet is in fact invisible. Then slowing down, you see it because here you have a density.
No.
And it's taking.
You absorb a sun, light that you can see the light of the sun when you are in the atmosphere. When you're out of the atmosphere, you don't see interaction. You don't see, you don't observe the interaction between magnetic field of the Earth and the sun.
For boundary, for amino acid, for limit. When my amino acids interact with this field, I see this kind.
It is the polarization.
I'm just talking about interaction of the field. The field, outside, you don't see, it's dark. But when it enters,
it's not dark, it's transparent. It's invisible to our eyes, but it's evident when it reaches a particular polarization.
But that field don't have no name. don't have copper
Oh,
name,
it's called
name.
Akasha. That field is called Akasha. 7,500 years ago, it's written. It's Rig Veda. That field exists, and it's not only
So
something.
we can name anything you like.
Yeah, they
I
named
can name
it.
thousands of names.
Yes,
For
of
me,
course.
it's a package of energy.
It's the force. So we are dealing about same thing. But it's not the problem how we name something. It's the evidence that although we do not see it, sometimes we need a quality that explains a behavior to work with this, and then we understand it is plasmatic, or the name you want to name it. We only need qualities to understand the number of it.
What qualities we need to understand of the field? What is it?
We have hands to touch.
Touching is different feeling. Touching when you observe.
Well, it is a part of sensing. We have 50 different senses.
I'm not talking about this. I just want to explain you. Okay. Go ahead. I will listen to you. No problem.
No, tell me.
No, it's okay.
Manifestation.
You go ahead. I want to listen your explanation.
Manifestation is there. We understand it through quantity and quality, through question and answer, giving it a name or a different name within duality. Then we come to agree that there are three qualities, in fact, and most religions, they murti, three qualities, free energy, free fields working at the same time. 1 and 2, oscillating. Now this is a kind of understanding that we all reached. Sooner or later, we reach this, but this is an understanding of one field, that's good, okay. 2 fields, duality, yes. Then 3 fields, yes. But understanding is not only 1, 2, 3. So that's why we have 1,000 names of God, to understand the process. And that's why we find in
that was the mistake, actually, to have 1,000 and remember 1,000.
There is no mistake. There is interpretation. And as long as this kind of interpretation allows you to reach understanding, there is no fault in saying. There is a fault in killing someone that is saying something different. But there is no fault in understanding to your extent.
We just complicate it so much.
Yes.
Still complicate.
Yes. You know why you say complicate?
Because if I hear something complicated, I can say it's complicated.
No, etymologically.
If I hear it's a simple, I can say it's simple.
Yes, but etymologically, complicated, it's cum plica. Plica is bent. When you say simple, it's sum plie. So, without being bent. So it's straight. So that is the idea. You're using words, go to the origin, to the seed. Complication then is, of course, is creating 1,000 different qualities and names of God. Well, we created probably 1 million gods with our interpretations.
And so do you think it's correct?
No, I don't say it's correct or it is
but
not
still
correct.
We continue
that is still duality. I said we understand things within a monadic principle, unicos, one. Then you can understand things in a dualism, and so you can fight with half of the universe. It's not saying what you say, okay? Then in triplicity, then you can go and count all the numbers you want. And then once you find yourself again in 1000 is quite a good number, then you understand that you go back to 1. Because you understand all the different positions of the atoms, let's say. You saw all the configurations. You lived all those lives in samsara, and so you reached. Consciousness is there. That should be the element, Chaitanya. Once you reach that level of consciousness, you don't need to work with the matter state. You are present and non-localized. You are. You don't need to own. But that is a spiritual understanding. Here you have a physical body. You need to touch. So I give you different qualities. It's burning, so don't touch it. It's shiny. Yes. What color? And so we're working with colors. I'm not saying this is correct or this is not correct. I don't work with dualism in this way. I'm not fighting. I'm not forcing anyone. I'm understanding why it has a shape. Why this shape is a being, and what you consider a being most of the time misses the vastity of the multiverse, because you are sticking to your dimension. That invisible light, that stars shine, but you say it's dark. It's not dark. It's transparent. It's transparent light. You don't see it. And you believe it's dark. It's not dark. It's shiny.
May I correct you? All I can say it's dark because when you go out of the atmosphere, it is dark.
Okay.
Dark because of vision of our eye, but I can understand that the whole field, it's a...
You close your eyes, you dream and you see, and that is the field.
I just forgot what I want to explain even to you. But it was important, but it's okay. We already lost it.
No, try to. Maybe I don't catch the...
When I remember, I will continue. You go ahead.
Okay. So working with the material state, we can reach this configurations. Working within your mental, emotional body, spiritual body, understanding, you can change your body, your state, your frequency. That is working within the alchemy. That is the body. You are working together. The vehicle is called. That is a practical way. You can do this in the outer material world or within yourself. You have two opportunities. Usually we practice transformation and not a lot of transmutation. We ask others to understand us, but we do not listen to our body that says, don't do this kind of action because it is bad for you. And so then there is illness. So this is a kind of correction and equilibrium within ourselves. And once your body teaches you that its harmonic way is different from your opinion, it's something else. So, or what you like or dislike, it has nothing to do with what you like or dislike. That kind of equilibrium, then it will give you the opportunity to work with the world in harmonic phase. So it's creating a coil that is resonating, it is in the antenna. And all the packets of energy, plasmatic, okay, they are all participating. And these gaps, there are no gaps. And space, there is infinite space. So take whatever shape you want, anything. But you have to, not to dictate it, but to participate. Because once you enter this body, that is a gift. Your conscience makes the difference. That's you. And so working with matter state enables you to understand what's happening. It's just like saying a computer, a PC, it has a CPU, it has a memory, it has a BIOS, it has a RAM, and these are the parts of your body. And we are just placing another creature in the matter state and working at nano layer, nano level, 20 nanometers, 15, 10. So we're going down into micro. That is the work we are doing by translating our understanding and our body into a mechanical one. We want to create androids and gynoids. Why? We want to create something that is living and that is our own creation. And so we force even genetically messing up things, of course. And when we create something like this, could use that there is a conscience in your computer, an artificial intelligence, probably conscience, maybe, who knows? We shall find out, because it is a creation, and it is not only the result of a solid state matter experiment. It's by reaching this transparent field, which is the thinnest of all. So there you can see everything, because it is what you call space. And manifestations are there, ordered, not even chaotic, because they follow equilibrium and harmonics. So they are present in where they have to be, in the right moment, because they participate within the cycles. So a planet is next to another one, and then there is another one. If something is missing, where did it go? So you either find more energy fields or debris, or you find rings. It's still there. So the two gaps I see, and there are missing ones. In fact, we see that this energy is moving, is spinning around, and it's going upwards. So it has been transmutated and moved to another octave, another level. Who chooses which one? Well, one is going, another one is going, another one is coming. And that is a tantric interpretation. It's not linearity anymore. We're not dealing with the straight line or complications, complica, so you can bend. And so that is maze, that is, you get lost in it. It's the never-ending city with a circuit within a circuit within a circuit. Oh, it's too chaotic. It's never-ending game. So you need silence and just listen. You need darkness, see. You need to meditate, to slow down this waterfall. And then you see colors that are usually you never see. There was a book in 1800, and they said 13 days without light, in darkness, in total darkness. The 14th day you shall see. That is the activation of the pineal gland. Now, I never tested this because anyone would say you're crazy.
We had a knowledge seeker that did that actually and told us about the whole story. Yeah.
Well, and there is something beyond that we can see. And so it's the pineal gland is taking over. So within this darkness, even in deep space, you shall see. No point in bringing with you a torch. You enter the cave with a torch, you have 3 meters of light. There is no possibility. With a submarine, you don't use light. In deep space, it's not going to work. You have to use other senses. So it's a very practical, a very good exercise, and to go from one side to the other, just oscillating within a spiritual understanding, consciousness, and what is reachable from within, and then practicing what you can do by using your hands. And this is the dimension of the things. Although we create a cyclosynchrotron 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers, that is still our dimension. We are forced within a planetary dimension until we free ourselves from the kind of gravitational pull that does not allow ego just to solve. Because this kind of coagula, this alchemy that we are living in at the moment, it is shaped, the field is been shaping the of men, not animals.
Okay, hello? You still
Hello?
there? I'm
Yes.
sure you cut off for a minute.
That is the image, just understanding that we are part of it. So participating or serving or practicing what is harmonic, resonant equilibrium, and not dictating, belonging, doing together. So if by in a constant way, I introduce the equation 10 elements, we shall see the results. If I introduce 3, okay. If I say everything is plasmatic, okay. Some time ago, everything was the name of God. It's the same thing, exactly the same. Totality is within monadic, but understanding it is within the infinite colors, flavors. That is beauty. And it is wonderful. So although dogma allows to reach the mental idea or the principle, the flavors are not there because you have not lived the totality, the expression of that creation, of all creations. So we miss because the flavor is not there, the colors are not there.
Okay, thank you, Jedi. We need to start wrapping things up here, and I'd like to get back to Armin if he still has anything he'd like to say there.
Please,
he came in special, and we'd like to hear from him when he does come in. So
Because
thank you for your commentary, but we would like to hear from other people here as well. So I just want to emphasize that.
Ok, ¿puedo decir algo?
Sorry, it looks like Armin's gone now anyway, so I guess we lost him there.
Yeah, you'd like to say something if you can.
Okay, well, next time I'm going to interfere a little earlier, Jedi, because you kind of dominated the conversation here for the last half hour, and you didn't let Armin have a say, and he was basically insulted.
He said, just go on. I asked him.
He said that because he's always very polite when somebody interferes with him.
Yes, in fact, I asked him 2 times, and this is the third time.
Yeah, he's always very polite when someone interferes or interrupts him.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, I excuse myself. I hope he shall, when he remembers, he shall say, express in a different way, what he wanted to say. Thanks.
Right. Okay, well, it's okay. It's just you have a way of dominating the conversation because you have a powerful presence and important things to say, and it could go on for hours and hours and hours about this,
just ring a bell. Just ring a bell. I'm sorry. Just ring a bell.
That's the bell that I just rung. So.
Yes. Okay. Just do it after 5 minutes. Let's stop and let's transform this in something much nicer and much lighter and etc.
Yeah, we might have to. It's also 3. It's coming up on 4 hours here, and we should have ended an hour ago for this particular teaching or this format normally, because it interferes with other classes that are going on and so on. This public teaching, and I think Gatua has a class coming that's now overlapping. And
yeah,
anyway,
it's class has already
begun, and some people don't know which way to go, and so on and so forth. But it's all good because I appreciate your input very much. So I'm not trying to shut you down that way. It's just that I wanted to get Armin in there. He's now gone, and oh well. And I wanted to see if there's other people that had some comments and so on. And I did want to wrap things up soon too. So all of those factors were impinging on my anxiety on the situation. So let's carry on. Anyone have something to say? I think
Johnny wanted to say something.
Yeah, Johnny wanted to say.
Quería decir cómo empecé a hacer lo de, digamos, los espectros.
Los trabajos en el horno.
Sí.
He wanted to say how he started to do all this work in the oven to get different spectrums.
Creo que es importante eso. Lo primero, tuve un sueño.
I think he thinks it's important. He had a dream about this.
Y trabajando, he metido en el horno una bobina.
He put a coil inside the oven.
Y he sentido que tengo que parar la temperatura.
And he felt he had to stop the temperature.
Y entonces me acordó que he visto todos los colores antes.
And he remembers he'd seen the different colors beforehand.
Es como he sentido con mi alma lo que pasa dentro del horno.
He has felt with his soul what happens inside the oven.
Lo mismo me pasa de pequeño con las plantas.
The same thing happens to me ever since I was very young with the plants.
Y eso fue un motivo porque nunca me ha gustado la carne y comer animales.
This is the reason why I've never liked to eat meat or animals.
Y cuando trabajo con el plasma,
And when I work with the plasma,
siempre tengo mucha alegría.
I am very happy.
Y he dicho que estoy aquí y he esperado eso de toda mi vida.
He feels he has been waiting for this all his life.
Por la primera vez cuando encontré la tecnología plasmática,
The first time I found this technology,
he sentido los campos, la energía que está la interacción de todo que estaba en una mesa.
I have felt this energy on the table or working with it. The presence of this.
Y eso fue hace un año.
This was a year ago.
En una presentación que ha hecho Constantin Barbo.
In a presentation that Constantine has done a year ago.
Y cuando trabajo con cualquier cosa,
and whenever I work with something,
es como estoy comunicando con lo que trabajo.
I feel I'm communicating with whatever I'm doing.
Y eso es maravilloso que con la tecnología plasmática,
And this is marvelous because with the plasmatic technology,
es maravilloso porque podemos sentir miles de cosas que antes no puedes sentirlas.
this is marvelous because he can feel this happening, which he didn't feel beforehand.
Y no tengo estudios de especialidad o científicos.
I have no special studies.
Pero sí que siento la energía.
But I feel the energy.
Y trabajando, haciendo bobinas y formas, pirámides y otras cosas.
And by working with different coils and pyramids.
Me ayuda para comprender qué pasa.
It helps me how to comprehend what happens with this technology.
¿Y qué son las interacciones?
And what are the interactions?
Con lo de los ganses, he obtenido los ganses.
With the ganses, I've obtained these different ganses.
Con bobinas hecho con nano-cáustico.
I have obtained these ganses with coils made with caustic soda.
Como con el fuego.
The same as with fire.
Y las interacciones empiezan en pocos minutos.
And the interactions start in a few minutes.
Y se pueden ver con los ojos en fisicalidad.
And you can see this with his physical eyes.
Y me alegro mucho que puedo ver con los ojos y sentir las energías.
And I'm very happy to say that I see this with my eyes and feel this with my senses.
Y gracias por eso. Eso quería decir.
This is what I wanted to say. Thank you, Gianni. Gracias, Gianni.
Very good. Thank you.
Good.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to make you speak. I imagine wrap everything up.
Well, it depends if there's interest, we can keep going. but it is getting on here, and
You want to have a nap?
yeah, I'm pretty beat. I was beat before this all began, but it's all good. Happy to host.
Fenómeno, no hay más preguntas, entonces nobody else wants to add up anything to what we've been talking about.
Jedi, do you have some lingering thoughts you'd like to get out?
Next time, we do it in a different way. We show like Johnny did a wonderful job, wonderful work. So we show, and then we share something that is the fruits of our work, let's say. And so not using too many words, let's just try to give the example or a kind of example how to.
Excellent. That's sort of the name of the game of this group. It's always been a show and tell kind of thing, and we do get into lots of theory and discussion and all kinds of stuff, but the basic core is show and tell, and let's see what you mean, basically. So yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
So this image you have there, next time I will show quasicrystals directly, real ones, not a model, real ones, so we can see.
Okay, that would be good, because you've talked about those before, so that would be good to have some attachment to reality as we know it, so to guide us on that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I think we're going to wrap things up here then. Trying to think if there's any announcements. If anyone has something that they want to present in the Knowledge Seekers workshops anytime, you can send it into the Keshe Foundation or to me to be assessed. We'd like to look at things before they're presented, especially in that setting, and make sure everything's kosher, as they say. And Mr. Keshe approves of it. We're a little looser in this group as we show things, but still we have to be careful of certain copyrighted stuff and that sort of thing. And it's been good. So thanks to everybody for their participation today, and of course especially to Gianni there, who really outdid himself and made a fantastic show for everyone to correspond with. I thought it was just terrific. So many thanks to that. Just going to share my screen here. And yeah, that's basically it. Thanks everybody. And it's been the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, KPRG, for Wednesday, March 6, 2019. And we'll see you all here next week. Same time, same place. Thanks for hosting, John.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.